Hello. If you're listening to this, it's likely you've experienced something. Something that doesn't quite have a name in conventional psychology. A heaviness that comes without reason. Emotional pain that seems to have a life of its own. A sudden storm of negativity that takes over your consciousness, leaving you wondering, where did that come from? I want to talk with you today about what I call the pain body. This isn't a metaphor. It isn't just poetic language. It's a very real, energetic phenomenon that exists within the human psyche, and understanding it, becoming conscious of it, may be one of the most liberating realizations of your life. Let me begin with a story from my own life. Before my transformation at age 29, I lived with what I now recognize was an extremely dense pain body. There was a constant undercurrent of anxiety, of dread, a deep-seated feeling that something was fundamentally wrong. Not wrong with my circumstances necessarily, but wrong with existence itself. With me, I would go to sleep with it, wake up with it. It colored everything. Relationships were difficult because this pain needed conflict to feed itself. Quiet moments were uncomfortable because the pain needed noise, distraction, drama. I didn't know it at the time, but I wasn't just depressed or anxious. I was identified with a psychic entity that had taken up residence in my being. Then came the night that changed everything. I won't recount the full story here, but in that moment of utter despair, a thought arose. I cannot live with myself any longer. And in that very thought, I saw something remarkable. I saw that there were two I's in that statement. The I who could not live, and the self that it could not live with. Which one was I? This was the beginning of the separation. The beginning of the recognition that there was something in me that was not me. Something that was causing the suffering. That something is what we're going to explore together in depth. The pain body, in its simplest definition, is the accumulated pain of your past that lives on within you. It's not just memory, it's memory charged with emotional energy. It has its own primitive intelligence, its own survival instinct, and most importantly, it has one primary function: to renew itself, to feed, to grow. Think of it this way: every emotional pain you experience, every rejection, every loss, every betrayal, every humiliation leaves behind a residue of live pain. Unless it is fully faced, fully felt, fully accepted in the moment it occurs, it doesn't just disappear. It retreats into your psychic structure. It joins with other similar residues. And over time, these clusters of undigested pain merge. They form what feels like a separate entity, an energetic parasite that thinks it's you. This is difficult for the Western mind to accept. We're trained to think linearly, cause and effect. We have therapy for processing trauma, but the pain body operates on a different level. It's pre-personal. It's often ancestral. In many cases, the heaviest parts of your pain body aren't even from your current lifetime experiences. They're inherited, passed down through generations, through the collective psyche of your family, your culture, your gender. If you're a woman, for instance, you may carry the accumulated pain of centuries of suppression, of being treated as less than. If you're a man, you may carry the pain of centuries of emotional repression, of being forced into roles of aggression and stoicism. These are collective pain bodies, and within them swim your personal pains. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds dark, heavy, depressing. But here is the first key insight. The moment you become conscious of the pain body, the moment you recognize its existence separate from your true self, that moment the liberation begins. Because the pain body thrives in one condition above all others: unconsciousness. It depends on you not knowing it's there. It depends on you mistaking its voice for your own thoughts, its emotions for your authentic feelings, its needs for your genuine desires. Let me give you a clear sign that your pain body is active. Have you ever been in a relatively good mood? Then, suddenly, often triggered by something seemingly small, you're plunged into negativity, anger, sadness, anxiety, self-pity. And as you're feeling it, there's almost a perverse pleasure in it, a sense of being righteously wronged. That's the pain body feeding. Or consider relationships. Many relationships become pain body exchanges. Two people's pain bodies recognize each other. They enter into a kind of dance, a cycle of conflict and making up, of pain and temporary relief. Why do people stay in obviously painful relationships? Often because their pain bodies are being fed regularly. The drama is the food. The American mind particularly resists this concept. We're the culture of positivity, of just think happy thoughts. We want quick fixes, 3 steps to happiness. But the pain body doesn't respond to positive thinking. In fact, trying to suppress it with positive affirmations often makes it stronger, because you're still in a relationship of opposition with it. You're fighting it, and what you resist persists. No, the way through is different. It's not through fighting, but through recognition, through bringing the light of consciousness into the darkest corners of your being. This is a journey we'll take together in this exploration. Before we go deeper into the mechanics, I want to offer you this simple practice for today. Just one thing to start with. Begin to notice your emotional weather patterns, not the thoughts themselves, but the emotional energy behind them. When negativity arises, whether it's irritation, anxiety, or full-blown anger, instead of immediately getting lost in the story, he did this, she said that, my life is ... single quotes, closing parenthesis, pause, just for a second. Ask yourself, what does this energy feel like in my body? Don't analyze it. Don't judge it. Just feel it. Is it a tightening in the chest, a clenching in the stomach, a pressure in the head? Locate it physically, because the pain body, while psychic, always has a physical component. It lives in the body. That's why it's called the pain body. This simple act shifting attention from the mental story to the bodily sensation begins the process of separation. You're no longer completely identified with the pain. There's now a space, a witnessing presence. And in that space, transformation becomes possible. We'll explore this much more deeply, but start here, just noticing, just becoming the observer of your own inner climate. It's the first, most crucial step toward freedom from the pain body's tyranny. Part 2. The anatomy of pain. If the pain body were a physical organ, we could dissect it, study its tissues under a microscope, trace its neural pathways. But since it's an energetic phenomenon, we need different tools. We need the tools of conscious awareness, of subtle perception. Let's examine its structure. The pain body has 3 primary layers, though they're often intertwined. The first layer, personal pain. This is what most therapy addresses. The painful events of your current lifetime. Childhood wounds, failed relationships, professional humiliations, losses and traumas. Each of these events, if not fully consciously experienced at the time, becomes a packet of undigested pain. These packets cluster around similar energies. All your rejection experiences gather together. All your abandonment fears find each other. They form constellations of pain. The second layer, ancestral pain. This is where it gets more subtle. Science is beginning to understand this through epigenetics, the study of how trauma affects gene expression across generations. The children and grandchildren of Holocaust survivors show different stress responses. The descendants of slaves carry trauma in their bodies. This isn't mystical thinking, it's biological. But beyond the biological, there's an energetic inheritance. The unresolved pain of your parents, your grandparents, their parents. It flows into the family energy field. And if you're unconscious, you inherit it. You think it's yours. I've worked with people who had wonderful childhoods, loving parents, no major trauma, yet they carry a deep, inexplicable sadness. Often, they're carrying their mother's unexpressed grief or their father's suppressed anger. They became the unconscious receptacle for what their ancestors couldn't process. The third layer, collective pain. This operates on the broadest scale. The collective female pain body, the collective male pain body, the pain body of specific ethnic groups who've suffered historical persecution. The human pain body, the accumulated suffering of thousands of years of what we call human history, which is largely a history of violence, greed, and ignorance. Now, here's what's crucial to understand. These layers aren't separate. Your personal pain resonates with the ancestral pain, which resonates with the collective pain. They amplify each other. When your personal pain body is triggered, it can tap into these vast reservoirs of collective suffering. That's why sometimes a small trigger can produce a reaction that feels completely disproportionate. You're not just reacting to your partner forgetting to take out the trash. You're reacting through centuries of accumulated pain. The pain body also has different densities. A light pain body might manifest as occasional moodiness, mild anxiety, or a tendency toward melancholy. A dense pain body, that's a different experience entirely. It can manifest as chronic depression, debilitating anxiety, rage disorders, or even contribute to physical illness. Which brings us to an important question. Is the pain body responsible for physical disease? Not entirely. The body has its own intelligence, its own vulnerabilities, but the pain body absolutely contributes, because the pain body is heavy, dense energy. And where does dense energy accumulate in the physical body? often in the areas already vulnerable. The lower back, the digestive system, the throat, the heart. Modern medicine calls these psychosomatic illnesses, but that term often carries judgmentus. If the illness isn't real, it's very real. The pain body is real energy. Its effect on the physical body is real. What's needed isn't dismissal, but deeper understanding. Let's talk about gender differences, because the pain body manifests differently in men and women, largely due to collective conditioning. The female pain body often feeds on emotional pain, on relationship drama, on the pain of not being seen, not being heard, not being valued. There's a particular flavor of victim identity that the collective female pain body loves. Poor me, nobody understands. I give so much and get so little. Now, please, understand, not saying women are victims. I'm saying the pain body loves to assume that identity because it's such an effective feeding strategy. The male pain body, on the other hand, often feeds on anger, on frustration, on the need to control. The collective male pain body carries the pain of centuries of emotional repression. Men don't cry. Men are strong. So the pain turns inward, becomes anger, becomes violence either toward others or toward the self through workaholism, addiction, or reckless behavior. These are generalizations, of course. Many women have strong anger pain bodies. Many men have strong victim pain bodies. But understanding these collective patterns helps you recognize when you're not just reacting personally, but through centuries of accumulated gender conditioning. Now, the pain body has a cycle. It's not active 24 hours a day. It has periods of dormancy and periods of activity. When dormant, it's like a sleeping beast. You might feel relatively peaceful. Then something triggers it. A word, a look, a memory, a disappointment. Once triggered, it awakens. And here's the key moment. In that first second of awakening, there's a choice point, a tiny window of opportunity. If you're unconscious, you'll immediately become identified with the pain body. Its thoughts become your thoughts. Its emotions become your emotions. You'll start justifying, blaming, complaining. The feeding frenzy begins. If you're conscious, you can catch it in that moment. You can recognize, the pain body is activating. And that simple recognition changes everything. But how do you recognize it? It has telltale signs. The mental narrative escalates quickly. A minor inconvenience becomes a major catastrophe in your thinking. There's a physical component, tightening, heaviness, heat, often in specific areas of the body. Time perception changes. The pain body loves to bring up the past. Look what they did before. Or project into the future, this will never change. There's a addictive quality. Despite the pain, part of you wants to stay in it, to indulge it. Children are particularly vulnerable to pain body activation, both their own and their parents. Have you ever seen a child go from perfectly happy to a complete meltdown over something trivial? That's often the pain body, and children's pain bodies are frequently triggered by their parents' pain bodies. A parent comes home stressed, and suddenly the child is acting out. They're picking up the energy. Parents, this is crucial. Your pain body is not private. Your children feel it. They absorb it. And unless you become conscious of it, you pass it on. Not through your words, but through your energy field. The good news is that children, precisely because they're less identified with their minds, can sometimes release pain body energy more quickly than adults. The tantrum comes, peaks, and passes. The adult, on the other hand, can nurse a grievance for days, weeks, years. Which brings us to a powerful practice, the art of allowing the emotion without becoming the emotion. Next time you feel the pain body activate, try this. Instead of trying to change it, fix it, or understand it, simply allow it to be there. Say to yourself, if it helps, this is the pain body. It's here. I allow it to be here. Feel the sensation in the body without labeling it bad, without trying to make it go away. Just be with it as you would be with a child having a tantrum. Not indulging the tantrum, but not rejecting the child either. Just present, just aware. You'll notice something remarkable. When you bring conscious presence to the pain body, it begins to lose power. It can't feed on your resistance, nor can it feed on your identification. It's exposed to the light of awareness, and in that light it must transform. This isn't a one-time event. The pain body has been accumulating for years, maybe lifetimes. It will reactivate, but each time you meet it with presence, it loses density. Each time you recognize it instead of becoming it, you reclaim more of your true self. In the next section, we'll explore specific triggers and how to navigate them. But for now, just practice recognition. Practice allowing. Practice being the space in which the pain body exists, rather than being the pain body itself. Remember, you are not your pain body. You are the awareness that can observe the pain body. That distinction is the beginning of freedom. Part 3. Triggers and transformation triggers. That modern psychological term. We all have them. But what exactly is happening when we're triggered? From the pain body perspective, a trigger is any event, memory, or perception that resonates with the pain body's particular frequency. It's like striking a tuning fork. If you strike a C tuning fork near other instruments, only the strings tuned to C will vibrate. Similarly, when life strikes you with an event, only the parts of your psyche tuned to that particular frequency will resonate. And the pain body is a collection of very specific frequencies of pain. Common triggers include relationship triggers, criticism, rejection, abandonment, betrayal, work triggers, failure, humiliation, lack of recognition, unfair treatment, family triggers, old dynamics, unmet expectations, feelings of not being understood, world triggers, injustice, violence, political division, environmental destruction. But here's what most people miss. The trigger isn't the problem. The pain body is the problem. The trigger is just revealing what's already there. If you have no pain body around abandonment, then someone leaving won't trigger intense pain. It might cause sadness, but not the debilitating, identity-shattering pain that comes from an active pain body. So the work isn't about avoiding triggers. You can't. Life will trigger you. The work is about dissolving the pain body so that when life triggers you, there's less and less to resonate. Now, let's get practical. What do you do in the moment of triggering? Step 1. Recognize the hook the moment you feel that emotional reaction, the tightening, the heat, the mental spin. Pause. Just for 1 second. Say to yourself, pain body. That's all. Just naming it creates separation. Step 2. Drop the story. The pain body immediately wants to create a story. He always does this. She never listens. This proves I'm unlovable. See the story as what it is. The pain body's attempt to justify its existence. Don't engage with it. Don't argue with it. Just see it. Step 3. Feel the sensation. Bring your attention fully into your body. Where do you feel this energy? Chest, stomach, throat. Don't analyze it. Don't call it anger or sadness. Just feel the raw sensation. Is it hot, cold, heavy, sharp, dull? Step 4. Breathe into it as you feel the sensation. Breathe consciously, not trying to change it, but bringing breath awareness to it. Imagine your breath flowing into that area, the breath of awareness. Step 5. Allow it completely. This is the hardest part for the achievement-oriented Western mind. We want to do something, fix something. But here, the doing is non-doing. You allow the energy to be there. You give it permission to exist. You don't try to push it away. You don't try to analyze it. You just let it be, while you remain the witnessing presence. What happens when you do this? Something alchemical. The pain body energy, when met with conscious presence, begins to transform. It's like ice meeting warm air. It doesn't disappear into nothing. It transforms into water. Similarly, pain body energy transforms into conscious presence. You might feel it as a wave of heat, a trembling, sometimes even a temporary intensification. That's okay. That's the pain body's last attempt to get you to identify with it. Stay present. Stay with the sensation and the breath. Afterward, you might feel lighter, clearer, or you might feel tired. That's normal too. You've just used conscious energy to transform unconscious energy. Now, let's address specific scenarios. Scenario 1. Pain body activation in relationships. This is the most common. Your partner says something, and suddenly you're flooded with emotion. The old pattern would be react, argue, blame, withdraw. The new way, pause, feel, breathe. Then, if you need to speak, speak from presence, not from pain. You might say, I need a moment. Something got triggered in me. That simple acknowledgement changes everything. It brings consciousness into the dynamic. Scenario 2. Pain body activation at work. Your boss criticizes you. The old pattern. Defend, explain, resent, complain to coworkers. The new way. Feel the trigger in your body right there in the meeting. Breathe, nod. Say thank you for the feedback even while feeling the sensation. Process it later, in private, with presence. Scenario 3. Pain body activation from memories. You're going about your day, and suddenly a painful memory surfaces. The old pattern. Get lost in the memory. Re-experience the pain. Tell yourself the story again. The new way. See the memory as a pain body trigger. Feel the sensation it brings up now in your body. Breathe into that sensation. The memory will lose its charge. This practice is cumulative. At first, you'll catch the pain body after you've already been identified with it for minutes or hours. That's fine. Just catching it at all is progress. Then you'll catch it sooner. Eventually, you'll catch it as it's activating. Then you'll sense it before it activates. A word about positive pain bodies. Yes, there's such a thing. Some people's pain bodies feed on good emotions. The person who's constantly seeking the next high, the next experience, the next spiritual awakening. The one who can't be present with ordinary life because they're addicted to extraordinary states. That's often a pain body too, just a more subtle one. It's the pain of not being able to be with what is. Now, what about collective triggers? The news, social media, political division. These are powerful pain body activators because they tap into the collective pain body. The solution isn't to avoid all news, though. Reducing consumption helps. The solution is to bring presence to your reaction. Watch the news for 5 minutes. Notice what gets triggered. Feel it in your body. Breathe. Recognize. This is the collective pain body activating in me. But simple recognition prevents you from adding your personal pain body energy to the collective field. This is actually a form of service. When you transform your pain body energy through presence, you're not just helping yourself, you're helping humanity. Because the collective pain body is fed by every individual pain body. When you stop feeding it, you weaken it for everyone. I want to address a common misunderstanding. This work isn't about becoming emotionless. It's about becoming free of unconscious emotion. There's a huge difference. Healthy sadness, when you experience loss, that's human. That's conscious emotion. It flows through you. It doesn't leave residue. Unconscious sadness that comes from the pain body that's heavy, sticky, full of story. It leaves residues. Healthy anger at injustice, that's clean. It motivates action. Unconscious anger from the pain body, that's toxic. It clouds judgment. The goal isn't to never feel negative emotions. The goal is to feel them consciously, to let them flow through you without becoming them. This takes practice. Be gentle with yourself. The pain body has been in control for a long time. It won't surrender easily, but every moment of presence weakens it. Every recognition is a victory. In the next section, we'll explore how the pain body relates to spiritual seeking, to addiction, to physical health. But for now, just practice. Life will give you plenty of opportunities. Remember, the trigger is your teacher. The pain body is your path to presence. Everything is serving your awakening if you meet it with consciousness. Part 4. The pain body and addiction. Now, let's explore a particularly insidious manifestation of the pain body, addiction. But I'm not just talking about substance addiction. I'm talking about the addictive patterns that the pain body creates to sustain itself. First, understand this. The pain body is itself an addiction. It's addicted to pain, to drama, to conflict, to the stories that justify its existence. And like any addiction, it creates craving. Craving for what? For more pain, more drama, more reinforcement of its identity. This explains so many human behaviors. Why do people stay in abusive relationships? The pain body is being fed regularly. Why do people create drama where none exists? The pain body needs its fix. Why do people sabotage their own happiness just when things are going well? The pain body feels threatened by peace, by joy, by presence. It needs to reassert itself. Let's look at common pain body addictions. 1. Relationship drama addiction, the cycle of conflict and making up. The intensity of passionate relationships that are actually pain body exchanges. The inability to be in a peaceful, stable relationship because peace feels boring to the pain body. 2. Workaholism. This is often a male pain body pattern. The constant busyness, the need to achieve, to prove oneself, underneath the pain of not being enough. The workaholism numbs the pain while simultaneously feeding the pain body through stress and frustration. 3. Spiritual seeking addiction. This is a subtle one. The person who's always chasing the next workshop, the next teacher, the next awakening experience. They're not present with what is, because the pain body convinces them that enlightenment is out there, in the next experience. The seeking itself becomes the addiction. 4. Information addiction, constantly consuming news, social media, podcasts. The mind is always filled with content. Why? Because silence, emptiness, allows the pain body to be felt. And the pain body doesn't want to be felt. It wants to remain unconscious. 5. Consumerism addiction, buying things to fill the inner emptiness. Each purchase gives a temporary high. Then the emptiness returns. The pain body loves this cycle because it keeps you identified with lack, with not enough. Here's the mechanism. The pain body creates a sense of lack, of emptiness, of insufficiency. Then it offers a temporary solution. If you just get this relationship, achieve this goal, buy this thing, have this experience, then you'll be happy. You pursue the thing. You get a temporary relief. Then the pain body reasserts the lack. The cycle continues. This is why willpower alone rarely works with addiction. You're trying to use the mind to fight something that's using the mind against you. The pain body is in the mind. It is the compulsive thinking, the solution, presence. Only presence can break the cycle. When you feel the craving, whether it's for drama, for a substance, for distraction instead of acting on it or fighting it, bring presence to it. Feel the emptiness. Feel the discomfort. Breathe into it. You'll discover something remarkable. The craving isn't solid. It's made of thoughts and sensations. When you bring awareness to it without acting on it, it begins to dissolve, not immediately. It might intensify at first. That's the pain body's last attempt to control you. Stay present. Stay with the sensation. What about actual substance addictions? Alcohol, drugs, food. The pain body is almost always involved. The substance is used to numb the pain body, but numbing it doesn't transform it. It just drives it deeper. Ben when the substance wears off, the pain body returns, often stronger because it feels threatened. Recovery programs that work understand this implicitly. The higher power in a ray, that's another name for presence. The surrender, that's letting go of the mind's attempt to control. The one day at a time, that's presence. If you struggle with addiction, here's a practice. Before you reach for the substance, the distraction, the drama, pause. Just for 60 seconds. Sit with the craving. Feel it in your body. Breathe. Say to yourself, this is the pain body wanting to feed. Those 60 seconds of presence can break the automatic cycle. Now, let's talk about a particularly tricky form of pain body addiction: spiritual bypassing. This is when people use spiritual concepts to avoid facing their pain body. It's all an illusion. I am not this body. Everything is perfect as it is. These can be true statements from a place of genuine awakening. But when used to avoid feeling pain, they're just another pain body strategy. I've met many spiritual people who are completely identified with their pain bodies. They talk about love and light while radiating judgment and resentment. Their spirituality becomes another identity for the ego, another story for the pain body. How do you know if you're spiritually bypassing? Simple. Are you using spiritual concepts to avoid feeling what's here? To avoid difficult emotions? To avoid facing relationship problems? If so, that's the pain body in spiritual disguise. True spirituality isn't about avoiding pains. It's about being so fully present with pain that it transforms. The crucifixion and the resurrection, the dark night of the soul and the dawn. You can't have one without the other. This leads us to physical health. The pain body doesn't just live in the mind. It lives in the body. And where it lives, it creates congestion, dense energy. Over time, this can contribute to illness. I'm not saying all illness is caused by the pain body. The body has its own wisdom, its own cycles. But I am saying that a dense, active pain body creates stress in the body. It affects the immune system. It creates inflammation. It disrupts sleep. Many chronic illnesses, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, autoimmune conditions, often have a significant pain body component. The medical establishment is slowly recognizing this through neuroimmunology, the study of how mind states affect physical health. If you have a chronic illness, bringing presence to your pain body isn't about curing the illness. It's about relating to the illness differently. It's about not adding mental suffering to physical suffering. Here's a practice for physical pain. When you feel physical pain or discomfort, instead of immediately labeling it bad and trying to make it go away, bring curious awareness to it. Where exactly is it? What does it feel like? Is it constant or pulsating, hot or cold? This doesn't mean you don't seek medical treatment. You do both. You address the physical level and you bring presence to your experience of it. Often, when you bring presence to physical pain, something shifts. The pain might not disappear, but your relationship to it changes. The suffering, the mental resistance to the pain. Sometimes the pain itself diminishes because you're no longer tensing against it. The pain body particularly likes certain areas of the body. the solar plexus, fear, anxiety, the heart area, grief, loneliness, the throat, unexpressed truth, the lower back, insecurity. Notice where you habitually feel tension. That's likely where your pain body accumulates. A daily practice of body scanning can help. Lie down. Bring awareness slowly through your body from toes to head. Wherever you feel tension, breathe into it. Don't try to relax it. Just bring awareness. The relaxation happens naturally when awareness is present. Now, what about collective illnesses, epidemics, pandemics? These often coincide with collective pain body activation. When fear sweeps through humanity, that's the collective pain body feeding. This doesn't mean the virus isn't real. It means the psychological reaction is often disproportionate because it's feeding the pain body. During the COVID pandemic, I observed something fascinating. Some people's pain bodies loved the pandemic. It gave them so much to feed on: fear, anger, division, uncertainty. Others used the lockdown as an opportunity to go inward, to face their pain bodies in the silence. Which were you? The answer reveals much about your relationship with your pain body. The key in any collective crisis is to stay present. Feel the collective fear, but don't become it. Take practical precautions, but don't live in perpetual anxiety. Recognize when you're consuming fear-based media, not for information, but because your pain body is hungry. This is spiritual maturity, to be in the world, engaged with its problems, but not lost in them. To feel the pain of the world without becoming the pain. We're coming toward the end of our exploration, but before we conclude, I want to address one final, crucial aspect: the relationship between the pain body and awakening. Many people think awakening means the pain body disappears. Not exactly. In awakening, you recognize that you are not the pain body. The pain body may still arise, but you don't identify with it. It's like watching a storm from a sheltered place. You see the storm, but you're not in it. In deep awakening, the pain body can dissolve completely because it has no one to identify with. But this is rare. For most people, the process is gradual. The pain body becomes lighter, less frequent, less intense. The final surrender is this: you stop trying to get rid of the pain body. You stop seeing it as an enemy. You see it as a part of the human experience that you're learning to be with. And in that allowing, it transforms. Your life purpose may even be revealed through your pain body. What you suffered becomes what you can help others with. Your wounds become your medicine. I'll leave you with this final practice, one you can do for the rest of your life. Whenever you feel any discomfort, emotional, physical, mental, pause. Breathe, feel the sensation. Say silently, "Here is a moment of suffering. May I meet it with presence. May this pain serve awakening." You're not asking for more pain. You're not masochistic. You're acknowledging that pain is here, and you're choosing to meet it consciously.